Hey there, Janko Rutgers here for Cord Cutters on GigaOM TV, the show that brings you the future of television today. On this episode, we're going to check out D-Link's MovieNite streamer, a budget set-top box that they introduced a couple months ago together with Walmart. It only sells at Walmart, and that big box retailer just dropped the price to $38, so it makes it cheaper than any Roku or Apple TV or any of these devices out in the market. So we figured, let's take a look at it. Is it good for cord cutters who want to save some money? So this is it, the MovieNite device. It looks a little bit like a bigger version of an Apple TV maybe, but it feels a lot cheaper. It's kind of a plasticky feeling to it. And take a look in the back here for the inputs and output. We have power here, of course, Ethernet. We have connected this, HDMI, and then it's just AV out. So that's it. There is no USB port or no digital audio out or stuff like that. It's just the bare minimums, essentially. And then if we're at it, we can also just take a look at the remote control really quick. Also feels a little cheap, but it's okay. You will notice here there are a bunch of branded buttons, which you now find on a variety of devices. Some of the Roku models have it as well. These ones have pretty much all you can access with it. So there's a Vudu button, there's a Netflix button, a Pandora, and a YouTube button. And that's all that they could cram on there, basically. So now for a closer look at the services supported on this device. As I said before, it's a budget device, so you can't do all that much with it. It does have Netflix right here. It does have Vudu, Pandora for music, Picasa, which is basically Google Pictures not right now, or Google Plus Pictures. And then there's a YouTube app and a My D-Link app, which you can use if you have, I guess, D-Link network security cameras. You can have your nanny cam on there or something like that. The apps themselves look very much like they look on different platforms. So if you fire up YouTube here, it's a basic YouTube lean back experience. It takes a second to load, of course, and then you're going to see it looks very similar to what you find on other devices, like the WD box and stuff like that. You can browse through different channels and watch those videos non-stop afterwards. And now just switch to Netflix, just to give you an idea of that, how that looks like. It's also a familiar interface, but it's a fairly recent iteration of Netflix, so it works pretty well. It has to load up here, of course, again, and it can take a second. There we go. What's nice about this is that it does support the more recent features of Netflix. So once this loads up, you're going to see that we are going to be able to access not only the basic Netflix functionality, but also, usually it kicks me to a splash screen, but I can show you this right now. You can also switch to Netflix just for kids, which is like the Netflix Kids UI that emphasizes characters over titles, and you don't need to read a lot with it. And so you can switch back and forth between Netflix just for kids and the regular Netflix interface. You can browse the entire Netflix catalog, search, stuff like that, and then play through many of these Netflix titles. If you want to access, as a cord cutter, recent episodes of TV shows, you know Netflix doesn't usually have them. Walmart has Vudu on board, which is no surprise because it's a Vudu-owned service. It's a Walmart-owned service, rather. Let's take a quick look at that just to remind you how it looks like. You can access recent episodes of TV shows. You can access movies here, either as rentals or as pay-per-view titles. And it streams with up to 1080p, because even though this device only costs $38, it actually supports 1080p video quality, which is it's nice. So this is Vudu, and then I guess the last thing to show is the Pandora UI. If you want to take another look at that, you can basically, I'm using the buttons on the remote control here to switch back and forth, which is kind of nice. You don't have to bounce back to the home menu all the time and then access another service or find it in a long list, because there is no long list because it only supports 4 or 5 services here. But this is Pandora, so you can play all of this kind of stuff. So that's it. Netflix, Vudu, YouTube, Pandora, that's pretty much all the MovieNite streamer has to offer. That might not be enough for the hardcore cord cutter who wants an app store and all kinds of stuff. But many people, to be honest, really just want Netflix and a couple of extras. And it's hard to beat this price, $38. That's cheaper than a Roku, and a plus is it also has YouTube. Roku doesn't have. So if you're a budget cord cutter, somebody is looking for a good deal, take a look at this. If you want more content, maybe this is not the right choice for you.